Welcome to Forensic Friday, where I tell you one true crime case that was solved using forensic science, all while doing, and that's right, my makeup. Lucy is here. Although today I am doing my makeup, next week I will have a nail video for you guys. I'm gonna try to alternate between nail videos and makeup videos for you guys until I decide what I wanna freaking do. I don't even know. Maybe I'm gonna start doing just nail videos. I'm not sure yet. The issue is with the nail videos is that these are my natural nails, so I'm not gonna be doing nail looks on them every week. It's gonna be like every other week. Today's video will be featuring the new Alien Cosmetics Not Normal palette. Ooh. I'm excited. I think I'm gonna do the look that the girl has here on the palette. Let's be honest, the girl on this palette is like my alter ego. Like, this is, if I wasn't so much love and light and hippie, I would be completely goth like this. All the other products I'm using in this video will be linked in the description below. A quick reminder, the comment section is a privilege. Don't fuck it up. Please read the disclaimer and let's get into today's case. Oh my gosh, I'm not wearing earrings. So this all takes place in Omaha, Nebraska in the year 2006, where 19-year-old Jessica O'Grady lived. Jessica was a student at the University of Nebraska, and she was studying to pursue a career in childcare. She started her education as a social studies major, but quickly changed her mind after getting this job in a daycare where she got to work with children. She just fell in love with children so much that she decided she wanted to be a teacher instead. During this time, Jessica also worked at a local steak restaurant to earn some extra cash for school. In 2006, at the end of Jessica's sophomore year, her and a group of friends were hanging out, they were having pizza and just discussing what they were gonna do for their summer vacation together. They were having some pizza, which I just got done eating. It was gluten-free cauliflower pizza. It's actually pretty good. If you like crispy pizza. If you like thick crust pizza, then it's not for you. Now, friends say that Jessica was on her phone like most of the night. Like, whoever this person was that Jessica was talking to, had to be something really important because she was nose deep into her phone, girl. She was, you know how we be? You trying to write the right message, you be like, Jessica was there. And then all of a sudden, Jessica just abruptly jumps up and she's like, I'm gonna go to Chris's house. And her friends were like, okay, like, you're gonna go to Chris's house now? Now, I forgot to mention, it was around 10:30, 11 o'clock at night when Jessica decided that she was gonna go to Chris's house. It's just that she had mentioned earlier that she was planning to go there. So for her to all of a sudden abruptly jump up and be like, I'm gonna go to Chris's house, something was up. Friends and family assumed that she was talking about Chris Edwards, this guy that she had been seeing for a little bit. He worked with her at the same steak restaurant that she worked at. He also went to the exact same university as her. So anyway, I couldn't find any information if they were like actually boyfriend and girlfriend like that, but they were seeing each other. He was a love interest of hers. She pointed him out one time to her aunt when they were in the restaurant together, and she was like all giggly about it. You know how we be when we like, oh, that's my man, oh, that's my boo. Yeah, you see, okay, I just wanted to let you know. That's kind of how she was. So her aunt knew that she was, like, everyone knew that she was excited about him and that she was really into this Chris fellow. Since I did not use this in the last video, and I promised you guys for like forever I was going to use this, I'm going to be using the UConn Mattifying Longwear Pro Longwear foundations. Just needed to announce that. On the night of May 10th, 2006, Jessica left her apartment to go see her boyfriend, or her situationship friend, her guy, her dude, her man. Her boo thing. She left to go see Chris. Jessica was last seen leaving between 10:45 and 11:25 p.m. that night. The last phone call she made was at 11:48 to Chris. We're not sure what was said on that phone call, but we do know that that was the last phone call she made. The last anyone heard from her was a text message that she sent to a friend that said, "No more shenanigans for Jessica." Her friends knew instantly that it was coming from her because Jessica's code word for sex was shenanigans. I kind of like that. That's a good one. This is some full ass coverage, y'all. I'm getting nervous. 2 days later, when Jessica hadn't come home, when she wasn't returning anyone's calls, she hadn't shown up to work to pick up her last check, I mean, people started to wonder, where the hell was Jessica? They became increasingly concerned. They decided it was time to call the police and report her missing. This was very much unlike Jessica to not return phone calls. She kept in regular contact with her family members and friends. She would never go this long without talking to anyone. Hi, babes. Detective Inspector Lucy is now here to join us. And to put cat hair all into my foundation. I know she's looking at me like, what are you doing? Why are you looking like the mask, mommy? She also left behind all of her belongings and her cat, whom she was very attached to. And let's just be honest, okay? Anybody that leaves their cat behind, they ain't coming back. I promise you, because there's no way in hell that I could ever leave my Detective Inspector Lucy cat. She never picked up her last paycheck and her bank account appeared to go untouched. Several days later, Jessica's gray 4-door Hyundai Accent was found. It was parked near the Oakview Mall across from the restaurant where she worked. The first person police decided to check out and question was Jessica's love interest, Chris Edwards. But he told them he hadn't seen Jessica that night. He said he was at the movie theater with his friends, and he also produced a ticket stub. Police did go to the movie theater and look at the security surveillance footage, and they found Chris leaving the movie theater just as he said. So they were kind of like, okay, he's not our guy. He also told police that he hadn't known that Jessica was coming over. He was unaware of any meeting that was supposed to take place between he and Jessica that night. So if she wasn't going to meet him, then who the hell was she going to meet? With further investigation, police learned some troubling information that Jessica may have been pregnant. At least she believed that she was pregnant at that time. She had taken a pregnancy test at her friend's house one day and told her mom that she was pregnant. Police digged a little bit deeper and they found that just 7 months earlier, Jessica was dating another Chris. Got a type, girl? I don't know. Sounds like she got a type. What is it with the Chris's? Jeez Louise. What's wrong with Tom or Eric or Jake? Girl, I ain't never repeated the same name of no ex. I'll be like, your name what? No, it ain't happening, bro. The other Chris's name was Chris Ryans. I'm just gonna call him Chris number 2 and call Chris Edwards Chris number 1. Police began to wonder if they had the wrong Chris. So now they had 2 Chris's and they were trying to figure out which Chris was she talking about. Investigators checked the cell phone towers because they wanted to find out where her last text message had originated from. But the cell phone company that Jessica was using at that time only kept cell phone records for up to 24 hours. Wow. So they weren't able to obtain any other text messages or phone calls or any records. Girl, did not tell you this was full coverage. I'm talking Mortal Kombat full coverage, like flawless victory, fatality full coverage. When police looked into Chris Ryans, they found some disturbing information. Homeboy did have a past. He was actually a registered sex offender, and he had been out for about a year and 8 months, I believe, at the time of Jessica's disappearance. But he also had an alibi, and police could not find any additional information that he and Jessica had any contact since they had broken up. So they had to eliminate him as a suspect. So they went back to Chris number 1 and they found out that he was dating other girls while he was dating Jessica. And why am I not surprised? Jessica had known about that. He was dating another girl in specific named Michelle, and Michelle and Jessica actually knew each other because they worked at the same steakhouse restaurant together, as well as they went to the same school again. So dude, at least if you're gonna do it where the girls are not around each other, where the girls are separated. I mean, have you ever heard of hoes in different area codes, sir? You need to look into that, okay? There was one other thing that Jessica and Michelle had in common. Get this, you guys. Michelle was also pregos. That's right, you guys. Not only did he date two girls in the same restaurant that he worked in, who went to the same school together, but he also got both of them pregnant. Like, I am just like, wow, sir. I mean, I guess he has a type too, huh? So of course, Chris was leading both women on and telling both girls different stories about the other. He was telling Jessica that Michelle was just a fling and that he didn't really love her. And he was telling Michelle that he didn't want to be with Jessica at all. He really wanted to be with her and he was in love with her. And you know how they be doing us. You know how they be doing us. Police found out that Chris did know about Jessica's pregnancy because she had told him. And he initially wasn't too happy about it. He did not want to keep it. He wanted her to, you know, terminate the pregnancy. But Jessica wasn't about that. She was not about to do it. She loved children far too much to do that. And she was adamant that everything would work out in the future, that he just had to get used to it because she was not about to abort her child. She was excited about the pregnancy. She had purchased prenatal vitamins and all types of, you know, things to prepare for the child's arrival. Investigators decided to re-interview Chris Edwards, and there was something in that second interview that was very odd about the way he spoke of Jessica. He spoke of her in the past and present tense, and they just thought that that was so bizarre that he would speak of her in the past tense when she was only missing. They didn't know where she was. Now, Chris at the time was living in his grandparents' basement, and his grandparents' basement had a separate entryway, so Chris was able to come and go as he pleased. So investigators went to Chris's grandparents' house to speak with Chris, and they asked him if it would be okay if they just looked around, you know, in his room in the basement. Now, Chris did agree to them poking around. He was like, okay, only thing is I don't want you guys to look at my bed or any of my camping equipment. And police thought this was very, very bizarre. Because he was cooperating with police, they were trying to be as polite and respectful to him as possible. Sorry. And so they did ask him, you know, like, is there anything you don't want us to go through or look at that's like private? I'm also sure that police told him that just to hear what he would tell them not to look at, and that's exactly what they will go and look at. Because why would you say that? Like, no, just don't look at this. Like, most people would be like, no, it's a bait. It's like the old bait and trap. Is it the old bait and trap? The old bait and hook trap? What is that saying? I don't even know, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. Police did not have a search warrant at this time, so they were trying to be as respectful and nice to him. During the search, investigators did ask Chris again where he had been that night of Jessica's disappearance, and he repeated the same thing, you know, that he was with his friends at the movie theater. Police were able to obtain footage from a Walgreens store that Chris had stopped in just 2 days after Jessica's disappearance. He purchased some rather interesting items, I would say. Police got a hold of that receipt, and it showed that he had purchased some poster paint, some shoe polish, and some whiteout. While searching the home, law enforcement found patches of drywall in Chris's bedroom that did not match There were different shades of white, and when they took a closer look, it appeared to be blood stains underneath the white patches of paint. Dude, don't tell me this boy tried to cover up the crime scene with whiteout. Really, sir? I don't believe it. Nah. When they stepped back, they realized that there was blood all over the ceiling. It was apparent that someone had tried to cover up. Investigators brought in forensic scientists and they discovered at least 6 cast-off blood stains that were covered up with shoe polish and whiteout. They also turned his mattress over and found a huge blood stain. First, he told police that the blood stain on his ceiling came from a finger cut he had. Ciao. Then he tried to convince them that the blood stain on his mattress was period blood from a menstrual cycle. As you can imagine, the female detectives was looking at him sideways because obviously it ain't from no goddamn period. The blood sunk all the way down into the mattress, and according to investigators, it took up about 8 square feet of the mattress. Now it's time to go into the palette, but anyway, back to the story. In the garage, police found even more incriminating evidence. There were blood transfer stains in the trunk of his car and hedge clippers in his back seat. They also found a dirty shovel in the car as well, but they were unable to identify where the soil came from. Now there was grass on the shovel as well, so they also sent that out for testing. And they were able to determine that the grass potentially came from a golf course because it was the same type of grass that is grown on a golf course. Ooh, girl, what did you just do? Did you just wipe off the primer? You did, you bitch. I don't very often call myself a bitch unless I want to get dirty. Then I'll do it, but I actually like when men call me a bitch. Okay, this is too dirty. I can't be talking about this in videos. I don't know what people are watching, what children. We're going into unforeseen territories here. Let's stay PG, Zahara, stay PG. Large sections of Chris's ceiling was removed along with his mattress and taken to a forensics lab for DNA testing. So what they were trying to do is find some sort of DNA to, prove that Jessica was there. But this would prove to be difficult because they didn't have Jessica's body. So they had no DNA to compare to the blood found in Chris's room. So law enforcement, along with K9 units, went out looking for Jessica's body. Normally, if you don't have a body, you don't have a case. Now, Nebraska has a lot of land, so if someone wanted to hide something, it would be pretty easy. Even a body would be easy to hide in Nebraska. I feel like I'm just creating dark circles. Shit. Let's just keep going. And police was having a pretty difficult time. They could not find her body. But then investigators got a break in the case when they collected some of Jessica's personal items from her home. They collected things like toothbrushes, hairbrushes, and even her underwear. And from that, they were able to collect a DNA sample. These items gave them enough of Jessica's DNA to do a comparison to the blood found in Chris's bedroom. And what do you know? It matched. Based on the blood splatter pattern, they were able to conclude that the murder weapon was a very large knife. Now, when they did the first search, they hadn't found anything matching this description for the murder weapon. But during the second search, they found a box that wasn't there before. The box contained 2 Bangkok battle swords with 18-inch blades. Now, these kind of swords are most commonly used in martial arts performances, which I don't think this fool was doing on martial art performances, so I don't know what he was doing with these type of swords. And his grandparents didn't notice this. Watch your children. Police speculated that after the initial search, Chris may have thought he was in the clear and returned the battle swords to his home. Like, what a dum-dum. I don't know how old he was, but I believe he was around the age of Jessica, like 19 years old. Like, this is ridiculous that this is happening at that age. Like, what the hell? The blades were sent to the forensics lab for testing, and it was apparent that the blades had been cleaned. But they were able to find traces of blood on one of the blades, and they sent it out for DNA testing. The sample came back positive. The blood was in fact Jessica's. They were also able to collect skin cells from the sword's handle, and it produced a DNA profile that matched, you guessed it folks, none other than Chris Edwards. So now you have the DNA on the blade matching Jessica and the DNA on the sword's handle matching Chris Edwards. Busted. Armed with this evidence, police arrested Chris Edwards and charged him with murder. Chris continued to maintain his innocence, saying that he had nothing to do with the disappearance of Jessica. So, I mean, even with all of the circumstantial evidence, this would be a really hard case to prove without a body. Prosecutors believe that his motive for killing Jessica was the pregnancy. They just didn't have a body to prove that she was actually dead. Now, they discovered from speaking to friends and family members of Jessica that Chris was really upset when he initially found out that Jessica was pregnant. He did not want her to keep the baby. He wanted her to terminate the pregnancy, but Jessica refused. And with, Michelle being pregnant as well, this meant that he would have 2 baby mamas, so he would be the father of 2 children at the same time. That is a lot of money, Childcare is not cheap at all. It's a lot of money. So I'm sure it ran through his head like this about to be expensive, although it didn't run through his head when he was in the midst of his shenanigans. I think it's a little too late to consider those options, pal. Plus, his relationship with Michelle was more serious. That is how he described it. He said he was in love with Michelle and wanted to marry her. Then why are you going out sticking your wee-wee into other girls? If that's the case, sir. Like, come on. Get your ish together, my man. And then trying to cover up the crime scene with whiteout, sir. You're definitely going on my dumbest criminal list. I mean, yeah, I think you're definitely nominated for sure. Might have won the whole damn thing, actually. Prosecutors believe that Chris set up a meeting with Jessica around 12 that night. This would give him enough time to go to the movies with his friends and make it back in time to see Jessica. Now at 12:29, Jessica sent that last text message to her friend, "No more shenanigans for Jessica," indicating that they may have gotten into some sort of fight and were arguing or something. That is the reason why they weren't gonna have sex. I don't know, but it seems like my stamps aren't working, so I have to freehand all of the art. So give me just 1 second, you guys. Okay, I kind of ran out of time here. I didn't realize how fast the story was going, and I kind of just I lost track of time. And so I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup off camera, and I'll be right back to you guys, okay? Prosecutors offered Chris a lesser charge in return for him telling them, where Jessica's body was, but he refused. He wasn't gonna say anything. This is the finished look, and I'm so proud because I think I got pretty close. I even got the nose ring, which keeps falling out. Thanks to forensic science and some good police work, Chris Edwards was convicted of second-degree murder and sentenced to 100 years to life in prison. This marked the first conviction without a body in Nebraska state history. What did you guys think about this case and my makeup look? Please let me know in the comments down below. I know you guys are gonna have some opinions, but I really don't care. I kind of like it. I feel like I did a pretty good job, and with Halloween coming up, this would be like the perfect witchy, goddessy, witchy vibes, like dark goddess witch vibes, which you guys know I love. As I said to you guys at the beginning of this year, I do want to do more alternative makeup looks, so this is just the beginning of me doing that, and I had so much fun with this look. It was super duper fun. If you like videos like these, check out my last video. I'll leave it linked on the screen right here or right here. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also share. Please share, because it really helps me out. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.